Hard work!
Pay your taxes.
Hard work!
Please pay your taxes.
Rex, point to the easy work.
It's the IRS.
Let's run the fast break. And you're running the fast break with Chill Rob and Rex Castillo. I like to call him Rexy. How you doing today, Rex?
Good, man. I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm with you guys in spirit and in voice, so that counts.
Yes, Rex having a little webcam issue today, which is why he can't point to the easy work.
Anyway.
But we are here to talk about the spectacle that was the Maymac Tour. These two larger-than-life figures bleeping their way through a 4-day, 6,000-mile whirlwind tour from L.A. to Toronto to New York to the U.K. And I'm not even including the miles all the way back to their homes, Ireland and Vegas. And Rex, I don't think this is a popular opinion, but I got to say, while I enjoyed it at the time, at least the first two legs, now that I've had some time to digest it a week later, to be honest, I feel a little bit dirty. I feel the same way I did when I watched an old Jesse McCartney video earlier this week.
Leaving, never to come back again.
Like Leaving, I don't know if you remember, a hit song when I was growing up, loved it, rewatched the video this week, and I go, oh my goodness.
You're the baddest little thing that I ever see.
I didn't know it was so sexual. I gotta go take a shower. About a week later, I'm taking a step back and I'm asking myself, did I go down to the sewer with these guys? I know this is a trash talking game. They're up there trying to sell pay-per-views. But I am feeling a little bit ashamed that I gave so much attention and so much time. Save me from my feelings, Rex. Did I follow these guys to the gutter last week?
I wish I could save you from your feelings, Rob, but I honestly did follow these guys to the gutter as well. It became must-watch. The third leg, I'm like, why am I still watching this? Why? I can't look away and I'm listening. Why am I turning the volume up? Why am I still here? But for me, it became this Twitter debate that is now real life. And even when they announced this fight is happening, I really didn't believe it until we saw those two on stage. And we saw those two actually exchange blows verbally. And for me, that's the biggest draw of this whole thing is like, can we actually see this work? But again, man, the things they were saying to each other, became very repetitive. The racial slurs stuff came out and the gay slurs came out. It was like, what are we doing? This wouldn't fly in any other sport at all. You know, it's like, imagine an NFL quarterback saying the stuff that he was saying, gone, immediately suspended.
Yeah, I guess they play by different rules since they're in combat sports and hindsight's 2020, but obviously this tour went a little bit too long. LA was fine, both fighters getting their feet wet, warming up the car, so to speak. Toronto is when this tour hit its apex. It got from 0 to 100 real quick. But after that point, I remember that the same day when it was over, I said to myself, they're going to New York City next? I can't wait. Brooklyn, what do you got for me? Where is this going to go next? And that's when it really started to go off the rail. These guys were trying to push the envelope, take it to the next level, but the material just wasn't there.
By that point, it also became incredibly repetitive. First of all, what the hell was Conor McGregor wearing? I don't understand that at all. Second of all,
something expensive.
Something expensive is that, well, someone had a great meme that I saw. It's like when you have a press conference with Mayweather at 7, but you got to watch Game of Thrones at night. So for me though, yeah, by Brooklyn, it was like, you guys aren't saying anything original. It's no secret that I'm a wrestling fan, that I would love these guys to just watch some pro wrestling promos like from The Rock or John Cena, because they know how to sell a fight or sell their characters. But with Conor McGregor saying the whole "I'm black from the belly button down," I was like, what? And then Mayweather just going off and saying how he runs just the same routine about hard work, dedication for 15 minutes. Dana White.
Yeah! Yeah! We just get started, baby!
And then just how I run boxing, I run fighting, I'm the teacher, I never tapped out. It became so repetitive. And Conor saying the whole thing about how he's the real fighter and how MMA is the real sport. Yada, 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 yada. He was a little more clever, though. back in, I think, in Toronto where Mayweather grabbed the flag and then he grabbed his bag. I thought that was fantastic because Conor has been known to do that other kind of shenanigans in the UFC. Just grab the other guy's belt and bring it on his side. But overall, like you mentioned, we went to the sewer, Rob, and just kept watching. I don't know why.
And I don't even know why I was okay with it the first two legs. But by like 3 and 4, I said to myself, you can't be calling someone the B word that many times. This just doesn't feel right. It did get pretty crass and cringeworthy. And I guess these guys were just reaching for more. And that's when they hit the two landmines you never want to touch on here in America: race and sexuality. You mentioned part of what Conor said, but it was what he said afterwards that I thought was even more cringeworthy when he said, "Here's something for my black female fans." Started to do this like weird body roll. Like, what is going on here? And what made it stand out even more is when I saw Dana White, who is McGregor's boss. They're sitting back like, yeah, they were loving it, and Leonard Ellerby, and I go, we're not supposed to love it at this point, but their bosses are like, yeah, they're gonna see the dollar signs just like raining down from the sky.
That, if anything, these two are amazing clickbait, which is great for both.
It's a bad vaudeville act that you want to click on, yeah.
One funny thing, I think it was one of the later ones with Mayweather throwing the money, and that was. Visually, that's exactly what he needed because Conor was beating him up verbally, throwing the money, saying that he's Money Mayweather, and making it just rain on McGregor. That's the moments of brilliance in promotions. I just wish we had more of those original moments, kind of set up like a presidential debate where we had different topics. But yeah, Dana White's counting in the money, man. He's loving it.
Towards the end, I was like, I wouldn't have even minded watching their crews start going back and forth. That's how desperate I was getting to try to see or hear some new content. I heard someone call Floyd's people Jersey Shore rejects, which at first glance may be a pretty apt description. All right, so let's go into our top 2 moments in no particular order, Rex. And one of my moments is one that you already brought up, and that is Floyd Mayweather making it rain, throwing dollar bills at Conor McGregor while he's sitting across from him on the stage. And then Conor picked it up and said, these are just $1 bills. And then Floyd, I don't know if he anticipated it, but with his quick wits, like, yeah, that's all you're worth.
I agree, man. That's such a great visual. The fact that he has that much money and can just throw it away.
I wonder what happened to it. Like, someone had to pick it up, right?
Hey, man, if I was one of those photographers, man, I know you and I know the media struggle. I'd be like, okay, I'll pick this up. Don't worry, I got this, guys. I got it. Don't worry about it.
It's a prop for a stand-up. I swear.
I swear to you. Oh, I need to do like another 50 takes. It's fine. It's all fine. Oh man.
So, what was one of your 2 favorite moments or top moments on the tour?
The FU suit, the F-bomb suit from McGregor. It was so subtle because. If you've watched Conor McGregor's pressers, he likes to dress up and be crazy in the UFC. But when someone pointed it out and we saw it the next day, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he actually went through the painstaking moments of creating a suit like that.
One other moment that I thought really stood out, and looking back, I was like, oh, that was a little much, is when he went after Showtime executive Steven Espinoza, one of the most powerful men at the network, just went right up to him and straight up called the guy a weasel. I was stunned. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this, because Espinoza was largely out of the fray. I envisioned, all right, maybe he goes after Ellerby. Obviously, he goes after Floyd. His bodyguards and his crew entourage, they're probably in the mix. But there was no inkling, for me anyway, personally, that Steven Espinoza could become a target. And boy, did he become one real quick.
Yeah, I was like, Conor, he's helping you get paid. Stop. Stop. Not only him going after the weasel thing, but grabbing Floyd's head.
Now, if Floyd Mayweather grabbed McGregor's head like that, I have a hard time believing that McGregor's not gonna, at the very least, get up and start shoving him, if not throwing punches.
Yeah. It was one of those things that I guess it's just, really? You just grab his head like he's your son? It's not as good as the Floyd Mayweather making it rain, but just that visual of Conor grabbing his head, I was like, That's just weird. I can't believe that it caught everybody off guard, really.
At the very least, he was teetering that line they were not supposed to cross.
Yeah, he really was. Really was.
He did proclaim a KO within 4, which
oh boy,
which would shock the world. We'll get to our predictions in just a second, but let's move on to our pay-per-view sales predictions. Rex, I think the over/under in Vegas is around 4.9 million. Pacquiao and Mayweather, I've seen a couple numbers, 4.4, 4.6. Let's just go with 4.6 for now.
Sure.
How much did this tour help? Do you think this will break the Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather pay-per-view record?
My thing was, does the curiosity really drive the buys? Because the biggest thing that I thought most people bought Mayweather pay-per-views because they want to see, can he lose? Will this be the day? But now you add the factor of, can he lose? And can he lose to this thing, this new guy, this new experiment? You know what? I think this will be a new pay-per-view record because Manny Pacquiao Mayweather would have set a new untouchable record if it happened 10 years ago. You know, when it was Pacquiao's prime, he had just beaten Hatton. If they scheduled that fight right after he knocked out Hatton, that would have set an untouchable pay-per-view record. Yeah, we'll see a new record just because the pure curiosity of what will happen in this thing is going to drive it.
So I think the over/under in Vegas, or some of the betting odds, is 4.99 or 4.99 mil. Are you going with the over or under on that?
I'm going with the under. I think it'll break the Pacquiao, but I'll put it at a solid 4.7, 4.8.
Exactly what I was thinking, Rex. I'm thinking about 4.75 million. I'm just curious about the casuals. How much this was? Yes, this was on Sports Center.
Right.
This was covered to death, but we're still a month away. I don't think they're gonna think back to the tour 3 weeks from now. I think maybe the week before the fight, whatever lead up developments, pressers they do then, the 1 or 2 that might go down, I think that could have a nice little influence. Maybe get them over the 5 mil mark if something goes down that catches everyone's attention. But assuming there's no seismic change to this storyline as it stands right now, I envision around maybe 4.75.
The thing that's going to hurt them is that football season kicks off and football, like high school football kicks off, but we're also running into like preseason stuff for the NFL. We as a country love football. So I thought if they had the fight in July, where their biggest competition would be maybe, again, midseason baseball and the ESPYs. That's where you would have seen the most buys, just because July is such a dead month for sports, and just because you're getting ahead of football. But
let's go to our fight prediction, Rex. The odds are saying McGregor, who was double-digit underdogs, 10+ to 1. Has somehow narrowed to around 4 to 1 now, according to some betting odds.
How?
That's what Bovada and some other, I guess people are seeing these tours and saying this guy's not scared, which we all kind of already knew. Yeah. I don't know if Jeff Horn and Pacquiao fight had sort of gave them a little more confidence in that. Oh, maybe it could unfold that way. McGregor just keeps bowling forward, throwing punches, missing 85% of the time, almost getting knocked out, but he surpasses all expectations and he wins. Although it's hard to imagine that happening to Floyd with the judges in Vegas. But somehow more people are betting on McGregor. What kind of shot do you give him? What's your prediction on how this fight unfolds, Rexy?
Every single Mayweather fight goes this way, and it's going to go to points. And Mayweather wins. Unanimous decision. People, again, Mayweather doesn't knock people out, or he hasn't done it in a long time. He just knows boxing so well, and his instincts, you just can't teach that. You have a guy who, again, is one of the greatest MMA strikers we've seen. Incredibly accurate, so incredibly smart. But this is a different thing. Someone actually brought this up really well, is that you have a softball player and a baseball player. It looks the same. The games look very, very similar. But Jenny Finch could strike out any major – I believe Jenny Finch could strike out Aaron Judge right now. and you put a softball player in the major leagues, they're not touching they aren't touching Dallas Keuchel. It's just not happening. So I think McGregor is the softball player coming up to the big leagues in baseball, and it's just a different game. It's just different. And Mayweather's going to win how Mayweather wins. Punch, punch, jab, jab, connect, dodge, 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 punch, jab, connect. That's it. And we're going to do that for 12 rounds. It's going to be a horrible drag-out Mayweather fight as usual. Money wins and stays under.
I got the same feeling that by the end of it, we're going to say, we got again.
Yep.
After Mayweather Pacquiao, we said, never again. No, that's it. But we're going to be saying to ourselves, we got. Sometimes the simplest answer is the easiest answer. Floyd's mind is a supercomputer. I think it'll be kind of like the tour, where it starts off with so much intrigue. Maybe Conor throws some punches that maybe lands, doesn't land, a la Jeff Horn to Pacquiao, and we get all excited. And then Floyd's supercomputer mind processes all the information. He figures out what to do. And then he avoids shots 85% of the time, jabs him to death. And I could see Floyd feeling so confident he tries to end the fight, stop Conor late, but he just doesn't have the hands anymore.
Yeah.
12-round decision. We don't need to overthink things. 12-round, easy decision. Maybe Conor gets round 1 or 2 when Floyd's figuring things out, but pretty much a shutout the rest of the way. And fans are booing when the scores are announced.
I totally agree. I mean, Mayweather's 40 years old, and he's getting in the ring with somebody almost half of his age. How amazing is that he's 40 and still in this great shape? But one thing that I would love to see, Rob, I know there's a lawsuit against this, a lawsuit pending. I just want McGregor to kind of lose his way a little bit, get so frustrated by, let's say, the later rounds, 10 or 11, and just bust out a head kick. I would love to see that. Just bust out a head kick or a flying knee. Even if it misses, I think the spectacle of that, like, what are you doing? Yep, he can still do that, and that throws off his game. So that would be fantastic for me to see.
Now for Conor personally, that's like the only way he can really lose, right? Because no one really gives him a chance. Short of getting starched in the first 30 seconds, losing his cool and resorting to MMA tactics, that might be the only way where he walks away a loser, right? Otherwise, everyone just goes, well, the bar's this low, and he was somewhere here, not too shabby, and he walks away, 8-10 times richer, or however much he makes, based on the pay-per-view buys.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. No matter if we don't like the fight, they're both walking away with a nice payday. So, but again, how much fun would that be? Just round 10, McGregor knows he's losing, busts out a flying knee. I think that'd be great TV.
Or like a double leg takedown, and he goes for a rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke.
Any final points before we wrap this up for the week?
Man, what's kind of the shame with this is that we went to the sewer, and yeah, I'm still gonna watch it. But the real boxing fight that I really want to see, Triple G versus Canelo. That's like, if you want a real good boxing fight, that's what you're gonna see. But we'll see what happens. McGregor, Mayweather. I'll definitely be watching. You gonna be watching, Chill Rob?
I hate to say it, but yeah, I'm sure this feeling will go away once fight week comes, and
right.
I'll be pumped again to watch it. And like we said, at the end of the night, we're like,
all right,
they got again. All right, let me go to bed and get ready for tennis on Sunday morning. Oh, now that you brought it up, Triple G and Canelo. God forbid Conor McGregor somehow wins. I don't know where I read this, or maybe I heard it, or maybe I just thought it off my own head. Maybe winner fights winner.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. No. I think let's put this one to bed.
All right, well, we'll check back in at some point, Rex, probably closer to fight week, because I have a feeling something's going to go down that'll pique my interest back up.
Absolutely.
The week of the fight. So we'll probably touch on this back in August. But for now, thanks for running with us on the Fast Break. Leave your comments on the section below. Hit subscribe. We'll catch you next time on the Fast Break. Peace.